Hello?
Hi, Alderman, I hear you.
Okay, I believe it's 6 o'clock.
It is.
So let's call the meeting. I'm sorry, I'm a couple of minutes late. Let's call the meeting to order. Like a roll call, please. Jim Polstro.
Here.
Okay. Betty Harmeyer. You said she might be late.
She's here. She's here.
She's here.
She's
She
here?
was
Okay.
muted.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Thank you, Betty. Ted Rosenberg.
I'm here.
Okay. Bob Jackson.
Here.
Thank you, Bob. Alderman Stevo.
Here.
Alderman Fahrenwald. Alderman Fahrenwald.
He's not here.
Okay. Alderman Mech. Alderman Mech.
He appears to be here. His phone is here. Mike, are you there on mute?
I'm here.
There you go.
Okay, good. There he is. Alderman Rita.
Here.
Okay. Okay. I did send out the minutes from the previous meeting before Christmas. If you want to take a roll call vote on that, whether or not people approve them. Alderman Stevo.
Aye.
Alderman Mech.
Aye.
Alderman Rita.
Hi.
Okay, and I approve them. So there they are. They're approved. Okay, you're going to have to kind of bear with me with citizens' concerns. I'm going to try to read these off my phone. So hold on one second. All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Okay.
Hello?
Hello?
We hear you.
We can hear you, Alderman Carr.
Okay, the public comment is from Charlotte Mitchell Brown. Says, I, Charlotte Mitchell Brown, reside in 5th Ward, and I continuous experience flooding that has increased over time. There's no way in the world that with municipal services of this city that this ward resident should be waiting decades for flooding relief. It is obvious that the Municipal Services Committee has been negligent over time to resolve the flooding issue. This is unacceptable. I am expecting this matter of 5th Ward flooding to be brought to the City of Blue Island Municipal Services Committee for resolution. Respectfully, Charlotte Mitchell Brown. Should I share that?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay. All right, that was the first one. The next one, this one was sent to me via Bill Fahrenwald. It says, greetings, I am sending this email at the request of Dr. Ansel Johnson of Vision Salon Eye Care Associates. Dr. Johnson has an issue with the parking allocation on Western Avenue. His office is located at 12812 Southwestern in Blue Island. A considerable portion of his client base is senior citizens. Currently, the majority of street parking is allocated for Cook County and is off limits to Dr. Johnson's station. His business has been in Blue Island for 30 years. However, the lacking of available parking is an extreme issue for his state. He would like to know how you can resolving the parking. He would like for his clients to be able to park as close as possible to his business. Do you have any recommendation or suggestions? Kind regards, Janita. Dot. All right, do I still have everybody with me?
Yep.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I think I have two more. The next one says, for decades, the Municipal Services Committee has failed to resolve flooding issues in the northeast corner of Blue Island. At a minimum, one would expect regular reports of decreased flooding in that area. In fact, current reports reflect that flooding issues have actually tremendously increased under Chair Candace Carr. Businesses have repeatedly requested a review of water suppression water bills and have been ignored. The current Municipal Services Chair Committee failed to properly take up and follow up with the 20% water rate rollback created by previous Municipal Services Chair named Rita. These inactions are completely unacceptable because the Municipal Services Committee Chair and Committee are not working in the best interest of Blue Island residents, property owners, Blue Island businesses, or Blue Island water. That was from Carol DePace Green. Oh, and I guess that's it on that.
Chairman
Well,
Carr, this is Allan Stevo.
Yes, Mr. Stevo. I'm sorry, Alderman. Go ahead.
In your minutes for tonight's meeting, can you please include those letters with the minutes so we can read them? It was real hard to hear you.
Okay, yeah, I will put them in there.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so onward. Public Works.
Okay,
Mr. Postro.
thank you, Alderman, Chairman. To report, the street and alley repairs were 8 tons of asphalt and 2 tons of cold patch. We had 16 streetlights that were repaired. 6 were called in the ComEd. Bulk waste, we went through 67 20-yard dumpsters and 1 dumpster of tires, 1 20-yard
Wow.
dumpster of tires. Snow and ice removal, we're on storm 11. Actually, I think we just finished 12. And we had 2 frost calls. We did our monthly, every first and second Tuesday of the month, we did our water testing, which we did today also. And we also read all the meters once a month. So that's it on the report right now.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, I want to talk again. Last month we talked about a request for a stop sign at Maple and New Streets. Eric, are you out there?
Yes, Alderman Carr. Yes, Chairman Carr. I'm
Okay.
here.
Okay, I believe you said last time that you didn't think that a stop sign at that location would have an impact on traffic.
Right. Well, yep, that's right. That's my recollection too.
This is Alderman Rita.
Yes, Alderman.
So based on the committee, Municipal Services Committee, and then also Jim Klinker's committee, what is it? Public Safety. So it actually is going to be on the agenda for next judiciary, and it's in the process of being drafted.
Okay, great. All right, so that takes care of that item. Very good. As far as the update from Kimberly Byrne on the parking lot, she did send me an email earlier today, and she said that there really was no update except to let me know that there was no update at this point. So we'll move on from there. Betty Harmeyer, would you care to give your report for the Water Department?
Sure.
Okay, so under delinquent accounts, contractual accounts, beginning payment plans, there were 30 of them. The amount collected was $5,790. Houses sold this included November and December, were 42 houses with $12,250.47 brought in with the payment of their water bill. Red tags, we put out 5. Amount collected from the red tags were $4,228.95. No contracts resulted from the red tags and nothing pending right now. And we have turned 4 off, and that would be that they were vacant homes with using no water. Contracts paid off, and this is the contracts from probably about 6 months ago, $7,922.23. And then the COVID letters I sent out 31, and we received $11,481.15 in partial pay, and in full pay of that was $2,456.34. My red information tags, we received $1,705.87. So total to the city in this particular situation is $45,835.01.
Okay, thank you. And then I did forward Ms. Harmeyer's email to all the aldermen about the minimum water charge for varying sizes of water pipes. We asked her about that last month, and she did forward it, or she did send it on to me. And it has to do with the water rates for fire suppression systems.
Does anyone have any questions on that?
Alderman,
Yes, Ms. Hardemeyer. The reason I brought it up, there were several businesses that contacted me.
Mm-hmm.
They think they're unfairly being overcharged. And I guess they have a 4-inch pipe and they're getting charged 50,000 gallons every month.
Yes, if it's a 4-inch pipe, it is 35,000 gallons. So, and if it's a 6-inch meter, it's not really, it's the meter, it's 52,000 gallons. So our normal residents are 3/4 inch, we call them, and that's 2,000 minimum. So every meter size that goes up, it's an increase in minimum charge.
Well, their meter must be 6 inches because they said they're being assessed 50.
Yeah, some of them are 6 inches, some are 4. I have a listing here of them. We have about 48 of them. And some are, higher, the higher usage because they're fire meters. Most of them are 4 and 6. We have a 1 and, so we do have a couple 1.5s. We have a couple 1 inches, but the majority of them are 6 inch and 4 inch.
And how many would you say there are 6 inch and 4 inch?
Oh, I can count them up right now. We have 48 altogether, and let me see, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18,
You see, the thing is that if there's no fire, there's actually 0 usage.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to pay this every month, and they also had the expense of putting the sprinkler system in, and that's a safety issue. That's a safety thing for the first responders and everyone that might be there. So they feel they're being penalized twice. Would the committee,
there's-
go ahead. I'm sorry.
29 6-inches. So, and then, you know, I can count up the 4s if you'd like me to do that, but there's 29 6-inches. So that would be
19 4-inches.
52,000 on a 6-inch is a minimum charge.
Does the committee have any interest in making these 52 6-inch and 4-inch a fairer monthly fee than what it is?
Alderman Stevo, this is Alderman Fahrenwald.
Yes. Hi, Alderman.
Yeah, I certainly can see that they're large numbers. You're just sitting here. I don't know frankly what's fair and what's not fair. I know we have expenses, of course, that we have to, we maintain because it's a established system and we have to keep the system up to date, whether they're running or not and all that kind of stuff. But I just couldn't, I don't have a way of knowing if these are fair or not. Maybe if we could, look at what some other communities are charging for these kinds of things, or maybe Eric might have some information about, standard rates or whatever. I don't want to have businesses paying, exorbitant amounts for sure. At the same time, I want to make sure the city's getting compensated for its costs. So I'd be open to it, but I just don't feel like I have enough information to act on.
Alderman Farren, well, that sounds fair. Can we just put it on the next month's agenda and see if we can gather more information, what other towns are charging, that sort of thing?
Okay, I will do that.
This is Alderman Nancy, Rita. Can we get the dates of when these, when they came up with the size of the pipes and how much, you know what I mean? The report you're reading from, where did you get that from? From the clerk's office, Betty?
Yes, from our system. It's in the system.
Was that created recently or is that from like 1978?
No, well, this system went into effect in 2014, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, so, this meter could have been put in before that, and that could have been established before that, but the system, as far as I know, is 2014. I don't know if there is a way to find out when actually the fire meters were suggested to be put into the buildings, and at that point, that's when the meter size would have been established, because it's established per square footage, if I'm not mistaken.
And is that through the fire department at all? Because it's a fire?
I don't have the answer to that, but I can investigate it and see.
Thank you.
Okay.
Because there may be a reason, you know what I mean, through the fire department.
Right,
Why
right.
it's
That's
set
what I
there.
don't know. Right. That's why I'm saying this could have been established before we got the new system, but this actual report is from the new system. So I don't know what day this all went into effect, and the fire department is probably the best place to start.
Okay, that would be great. I do remember talking about this quite a few years back, but I don't recall all the details, and that's what I was trying to establish. So thank you.
You're welcome.
As far as water rates from the surrounding communities, Alderman, I could, if wanted, I could put out calls to some of the engineers from the surrounding communities and see what their minimum charges are for next month.
Okay,
Okay, got it. Well,
all right, thank you, Eric. Okay, let's move on to the John D. Rita Recreation Center, Mr. Jackson.
Good evening, Happy New Year, Chairman. How are you doing?
Like to give your report?
Hello. Hi, Chairman Carr.
Yes, would you like to give your reports?
Yes. Did all of the aldermen receive the report from the rec center? Are there any questions?
No,
No.
I would like to say, I would like to thank everyone who participated to make that December event, Christmas giveaways a success, which was Metropolitan Family Services, the Greater United Way of South Suburban Cook County. I'd like to thank Mayor Vargas for coming out, Alderman Alexander, Alderman Dexter Johnson, and we'd like to thank Sonia Wilson from School Board 143, former Alderman Nancy Thompson, Chairman of the Library Board, Ms. Rochelle Osco, and the volunteers who came out and support this event. We gave out, we had 2 events. One was sponsored by Metropolitan Family Services and the Greater United Way giveaway. Their chairman of their board also came out and participated. We gave out, we had accommodation for 250 food boxes and book bags and stuff. We gave out about 150 of it. Some of it also went to other aldermen who came by. The mayor made sure that they got some of the rest of the items. And what was left was for the second giveaway, which was sponsored by the J.B. Rec Center. And we had about 175 people came by, got books, toys, book bags, and food. So it was a good success. Appreciated everyone participating. Our next event is the Black History events, where we're working on to make it virtual with the help of Ben and Sarah Brown to make this event successful. At this time, we only have 4 aldermen who have responded and said that they will be participating, making comments regarding the Black History event for next month. So once again, thank all the aldermen who are participating in this upcoming event. Everyone have a good day. Chairman, any questions?
I have a question, Alderman Stevo. Mr. Jackson, could you briefly tell us what are your duties? What do you do Monday through Friday when you're at the rec center?
Alderman, it's hard to hear you.
What are your duties? What do you do Monday through Friday at the rec center?
Oh, great. Besides cleaning the building, we do have activities going. We have our seniors who come by Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We walk through the club, walk through the rec center. We sanitize the building. We clean up the outside. We still have vandalism of people wrecking the outside basketball court and around the play lot, shoveling snow, basic items, cleaning up paper, and sanitizing the building, and responding to emails.
So you basically do that each and every day?
Beg pardon?
You do that each and every day?
Pretty much so, yes, sir. And it's on video.
Mr. Jackson, this is Alderman Rita. I'd like to say thank you very much. I think you've done a tremendous job over there at the rec center. You've brought a lot of great activities to the neighborhood, and I think that it's been an asset, and I just want to thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, are there any other questions? Okay, let's move on to the golf course then.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson.
Thank you.
Mr. Ruthenberg?
Oh, I'm sorry. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, so I sent out the Meadows 2020 revenues and expenditures, missing from did everyone receive that? First of all, I guess, before I go over it.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, missing from the revenues is the video gaming. I wasn't done adding up. It is roughly, it's $35,000 to $40,000 that the city makes off of video gaming at the golf course. So the total revenue that the Meadows have brought in is $1,007,386 plus the video gaming. Then the total expenditures is about $725,000, which leaves $282,386. Those expenses do include water, and I tried to add everything in there. I believe I got everything for the year. If not, I will let you know. I guess I'll stop there and just, if anyone has any questions. Hello?
No.
Oh,
Sounds like,
nobody has
sounds
any.
like cricket.
Hello.
No, I don't
you
have
have-
any questions. This is Alderman Rita. I think it looks great. I think you did we did great since it was COVID.
Yeah, the only thing I wanted to say is alcohol revenue was down because of COVID, since
Right.
nobody could be in the bar. That with food as well, but that was expected.
Okay, and have you gotten any more quotes on the netting?
Okay, I'm actually working with a local guy who is coming out to measure and see exactly what we need. The other vendors that I had talked to, they were from out of states and all over the country. I actually got in touch with a local guy. He has not been out yet, but he will be out soon. And I will follow up and let you guys know how that goes.
Okay. All right, thank you. Are there any other questions for Mr. Rubenberg? Oh, boy, we are just moving along here. Okay, Mr. Alvarez, you want to give your report for the for Robinson Engineering?
Sure. Thank you, Chairman Carr. So I put together a little bit of an update on all the projects we've got going on at the moment, including some of them which are on hold and some of them which we're planning for 2021. I guess I don't want to go through them all each individually, except maybe I can give you all the highlights if that works okay, unless there were some specific questions. So the street lighting modernization, the LED upgrade, we've actually got recently some very good news on that. And it looks like ComEd's, instead of us having to pay out of the TIF and the parking lot funds, it looks like ComEd's going to fund 100% of those project costs. So that's really good. It's in early stages, but I think it's looking really hopeful, and having the city's lighting upgraded essentially for free, can't turn that down. So that's the highlights. Irving Avenue reconstruction. So this is the project we've spoken about a couple of times, and I wanted to ask everybody here, all the aldermen here. So there was talk about possibly redoing a public meeting because everybody wants a chance to be able to chime in. Is that something that we want to just go ahead and do, or like some direction would be great?
This is Alderman Rita. Approximately how much would it cost to have another public hearing? I'm just wondering if we could just put this project on hold, because I know Alderman Stevo, he had talked to some of his residents. I talked to some of my residents, also talked to George Roll, who they feel that this project will completely hurt their business because they need to go back and forth with their trucks. So how much approximately would it cost to do another public hearing? Or, well, we'll start there.
Well, I think especially because another public hearing isn't required. So like if it was required by the Federal Highway Administration in the state, we kind of have to go through some more rigmarole. If you'll excuse the word, but like, advertising and administration, all this stuff. But I mean, if it was something like a special meeting the city could organize and we just go there, present the project, like I still have all that stuff. So it's not, super minimal, a couple hours of my time to make sure everything's still accurate. And then that's it, Alderman Rita. So I don't know, less than $1,000, way less than that. But yeah, and I think if there are reservations about the project, that now's the time, because right now there's nothing that we would have to like the city of Blue Island would have to reimburse the state or the Federal Highway Administration, the RTA. We haven't used any of that money, so like. Now is definitely the time to voice those reservations.
This is Alderman Stevo.
Go ahead, Alderman.
That project is in my ward, the 7th Ward. And I would like to have a public hearing sooner rather than later. And I'd like to see if we can come to an agreement and somehow solve this problem without hurting any kind of business there. And let's just try to do the right thing. And I'd like to see a public hearing.
Alderman Stevo, this is Alderman Rita. Would you be opposed to putting this project on hold? Since we've heard from several constituents.
Well, I'd like to have a public hearing so everyone could be heard and, do it the right way. And let's decide if we're going to put it on hold after that. But I think we do need a public hearing.
Okay, my only concern about having, which I agree with you about having another public hearing, but my concern is that no one will attend because of COVID. Like, well, the first one, we didn't even know. The alderman didn't even know, but I'm a little worried. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I
I
understand.
understand people, you might hold a meeting, you might advertise it well and everything, and then people will not show up. I mean, they're going to have issues with social distancing and,
Well, could you do it online?
Right, we're able to do these, via Zoom, just
Do a
like
Zoom
we're doing
meeting.
municipal services and city council, if that's like a concern. But then you still have that problem of, some people aren't comfortable doing electronic meetings and might not attend.
Right. I don't know how many people from the third ward would actually
Well,
attend via Zoom.
If I just like to say, it's not in my ward, so you guys are more directly involved in it than I am. I understand, I appreciate that. But from my perspective, as I've said before, there is a significant safety issue there. And I understand that there's other considerations as well. But it would seem like it would be helpful to the residents if that could be explained to them, and maybe they would, maybe they become more amenable to the idea. And we've already, I know we've taken this project quite a long way. It's been quite a while to get it to this point. And it is, it would, if everyone agreed that it was okay, it would improve public safety. So it would be unfortunate just to walk away from it now after all, we've come this far, I think. And it'd be great if we could have some more public input and a better informed public about what this is all about.
I'd like to move forward with this, but can we put it on the agenda again for next month, please?
well, what if I contact Sarah Brown? She's been handling the Facebook account for the city of Blue Island. Maybe she could put something out on Facebook to gauge people's interest in coming to a meeting.
Just to get a feel?
Yeah, to get a feel of what the response would be.
Okay, because I know George Rolls, their business is right there, and they are vehemently against this. They said it will directly affect them and they'll take a hit.
Well, I'll tell you what, when a metro train hits one of their trucks, they'll wish that hadn't been a problem. Just telling you, it's a possibility. So, yeah.
All right, I will contact
I think-
Sarah.
I thought there were other ideas that they came up with, maybe just like with putting a gate on Irving.
There are all,
other
I mean,
ideas
we
that
can
we
look
could
at
do?
gates, but
I thought there were other ideas that we could do without making it a one-way.
I think the main problem we run into without having a one-way street is not being able to connect a sidewalk, and forcing people who are walking out onto the street. That in my opinion is the main issue with, otherwise this would be super simple. We could resurface the street or put up a gate, or both of those things, and we could improve it. But if we're still forcing people who are walking or bicycling or walking out onto the street, we still have in my opinion, a safety concern there. So as the city engineer, I definitely would like to be part of any public meeting, just so I can just make sure, I like everybody to know what we think as far as the public safety and the safety of that roadway.
And I'll agree that I walk through there a lot. That's something, place we walk our dog through there. And it is a very dangerous street to walk on. There's just no safe place to really be on that street because there's no curbs, it's a bad situation. So, and I understand there's other concerns, but it is an issue.
Yeah, the sidewalks on the other side.
You don't use that. I mean, it's great if you're going to walk on the sidewalk, but if you don't, and people don't, it's a problem. I mean, it's a practical real world problem there. You're right. There is a sidewalk over there.
Well, the sidewalk's disconnected. There's about 300 feet of sidewalk that's disconnected.
You're right.
between
Yeah, you
New
got,
Street and-
it's not, it's just a mess. It is, and it just is.
Okay.
So,
Well, let me contact Sarah Brown and see if she can put out some kind of a survey or something on behalf of the city and see if people would show interest in a meeting. I mean, there was apparently one public meeting that no one showed up to. I realized the alderman didn't even know about it, but it was probably only advertised on the city council door here. So let me check with her and then we'll talk about this again next month.
Sounds good. Thank you, Alderman. Thank you,
Okay.
Chairman Carr. Okay, so just moving along with the highlights. The building demolition at 11955 Vincennes is moving along. Hopefully all y'all have gone out there to see that. That's an exciting project. It's getting along. Green Alley is in detailed design. The sewer relief pipe investigation is called the Joe Warner Plan. It's a specific part of the city council, the municipal services meeting agenda. So I wanted to discuss that. We are currently waiting on info from the MWRD. It's actually their consultant who's having issues with their model because of COVID and not being able to get into their offices. But I mean, we are investigating that project, including we're still working on that FEMA grant for a large-scale relief sewer in addition to this relief pipe, which is part of the Joe Warner Plan. I want to make sure I updated everybody on that. We had a number of TIF projects that got put on hold last year due to the COVID and funding crisis. They included York Street and Irving resurfacing, resurfacing of Irving, Chatham, Chicago, Hoyne, and Sealy north of the Cal-Sag Canal. And I wanted to know do we want to restart those for this year's construction season? I wanted to make sure I asked the committee that.
This is Alderman Rita. I don't think we should start anything because we don't know where we're at with our finances and we're still in the midst of COVID. Personally, I still feel the same way. Nor has there been.
I'm sorry. I have to agree with Alderman Rita. I understand that we have a huge budget shortfall for 2020. And I think we really have to wait and see what the projections are for 2021 before we approve any contracts or any constructions, any projects that are out there, because I'm not sure how we would pay for any of this.
Okay, understood.
Yeah.
Just to keep in mind, what we're talking about is the taxpayer increment finance district funds. So it's not like the general funds. These were TIF projects from the start. And it just so you know, it's not like these would be taking away from the city's revenue.
Right, but we still need to see where we're at with our money.
Well, Eric, I guess my question would be, it's probably one of timing, because I do understand we don't know where we are. You're correct. What if we were to be able to, if at some point this year we determine we'd be able to, do one or more of these projects, what needs to be, are there things that need to be done now that don't cost money that move us in that direction, or are we just looking at making a decision to spend money?
No, Alderman Fahrenwald, these are 80% done. So like if in March, April, like we have a lot of time. So if in like March, April, it's not like we have to do engineering survey. We don't have to do drilling. All that stuff's done. These could be moved into like bidding very quickly. So don't time is of the essence here. It's just to get the conversation started.
Okay.
So we can hold off. And I'm all for anything that's paid 100% through a grant or whatever, 100%, as you got the ComEd, that's fabulous. So thank you.
Okay, you're welcome, Alderman Rita. So I'm just going to keep going down the list. This one is definitely something that everybody's been discussing, which is landscaping at the rain gardens along Longwood in Washington. We got a response from the MWRD of some suggested plantings, which were kind of complicated plan sheets. I don't know if everybody had a chance to look with them, but just to like break them down into pretty simple terms, they have like, they want to make it simpler for maintenance by planting just a few species of plants with a turf around it. But in my opinion, like we would be better off to just, regularly maintain these, cut them back once a year. I think Public Works, right, did it this year. And I think if we could just get those regularly maintained and make sure that we had a proper maintenance schedule on those, I think we'd get a lot more, it would look a lot nicer. And I don't know. So I wanted everybody to talk about it.
Eric, it's Alderman Mech.
Hi, Alderman.
Do you hear me? Hey, you know what? I have to be honest with you. I think I'm going to speak for the 5th Ward and certainly Block 37. I think anywhere in that area, they really just don't want any more water gardens or talks of water gardens. They want it sodded or a decent turf there. Many of the residents are so pleased that it was cut down. It's also an added expense to the city because of the maintenance. I'm sorry, I'm adamantly against of replanting any water gardens or anything of that nature in that area.
I agree. This is Alderman Rita. I agree with Alderman Mech.
I mean,
I think we're all in agreement then. And there's even like Alderman Mech. I don't know if you've seen, but the MWRD doesn't actually is not in charge of the maintenance of all those rain gardens. I can show you they're in charge of the ones that that got planted with their funding. And for instance, a lot of the ones along Longwood were done with Illinois Green Infrastructure Grant funding and therefore under the city's jurisdiction. I don't know, maybe I can show you a map of those and if you wanted to sod them, it's just.
Eric, I'm going to be honest with you. I am adamantly against planting any more water gardens down there for many reasons. There is a rodent problem down there, horrible rodent problem throughout the city. Any extra vegetation will give rodents extra living habitat. We also have a higher crime than ever before in the city of Blue Island. So any higher growth of vegetation on our parkways is a problem for visitation, for sightline view for our residents. I am adamantly against. I've been fighting to do something for 2 years, and we finally did it. And to say now we're going to bring back water gardens is ridiculous.
I agree.
And that's all I have to say. I am adamantly against it, and I'll guarantee you everyone in Block 37 will be for it, not to replant anything down there. It looked horrible. You saw it yourself. Fred Bellato and I went down there, and Jim, and got a plan to cut that back. And nobody helped us. Nobody supported us. They didn't support the residents for how many years, how horrible it looked. They can't be maintained. I am sorry. You know what? We have good residents in that area, and they are thrilled that these are pushed back, cut down, taken care of, and cleaned up. To go ahead and replant is ridiculous.
Okay, Alderman Mech, I think we're talking about the same thing. That's what I thought too. It didn't seem worth it to replant the rain gardens.
So why even
I think we're on the same.
Bring it up? Why, let's fix the sewer problem. Let's fix the streets and the sewers, and let's not even bring up water gardens. I'm going to tell you something. I inherited a mess down there. For 2 years, I've been living a nightmare because of our residents having water, sewer issues, and all I hear is double talk. Get it fixed, Eric. Get a plan and get it fixed.
This is Alderman Stevo. Eric?
Yes, Alderman.
Yes. I disagree with the planning of those rain gardens. We have to concentrate on the flooding. The flooding must be addressed, period. We got to fix the flooding problem.
Right, understood. Also, the rain gardens and the green alleys are like a flooding countermeasure. They're not obviously something that's going to solve the entire problem, but. So I'm a little confused. So are we agreed then? We don't want to go with the MWRD's plan to replant those gardens, right?
Correct. Absolutely.
Okay.
No.
Cool.
Yeah. Do we want to take a vote on that?
Could I just get a little further clarification? If we don't do that, then we're going to put down sod or grass or something. Is that correct? Right?
I don't think so. I think Alderman, I think we were just talking about maybe cutting back once or twice a year. And also what we did is, because they were so overgrown, and we went in there with the bigger machines to cut it down. So some of the homeowners will be able to maintain it at this point.
Okay.
They're willing to. We went down there, the Alderman, Mech and Alderman Bellato, and we were talking to some of the residents, and they were so happy that, because the curb appeal down there was just not there. And they are right. There's, animals in there and garbage. So we end up cleaning them up, mowing them down, and they might be able to maintain them themselves. If not, I think Eric and I were discussing that maybe once, twice a year that Public Works would come through there and maintain it as far as mowing it down and stuff,
Okay.
Make it look a lot better.
And
Thank
correct me if I'm wrong, didn't we hire somebody to go in there? We had like a couple meetings on it.
We did hire someone to go down there, but
What
the contract for them got lost and shuffled around. Once COVID started, things just got lost by the wayside. And they, once again, similar to the previous year, they didn't even have a chance to start until the end of July. And by that time, things were totally out of control.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's another important consideration, Alderman Carr, is like having a maintenance plan in place with a contractor that could come out there and regularly maintain them. In addition to like I know Jim in Public Works said they don't mind, coming down and cutting it down once or twice a year, but like having somebody out there, every couple of weeks, just like any other, landscaping, I think would go a long way. But I know there's been issues with that in the past, but I think it's important. So.
This is Alderman Stevo.
Yeah, go ahead,
I
Alderman.
helped clean up the rain gardens last year with Mayor Vargas and a group of local residents. And the problem seemed to be that it wasn't properly maintained. It really didn't give it a chance to do what it was supposed to have been done. But regardless, let's put a plan together. 25 years ago, we took care of California Gardens. They had a terrible flooding problem. Eric, we need you to come back to the next meeting, and you need to give us a constructive plan on what has to be done. And we have to either appropriate the right money for it or else a TIF district. Something has to be done. We can't be putting it off month after month. We need you to bring us a plan next month, how much it's going to cost, and we're going to run with the plan. We're going to do it the right way. It's very simple. Let's find out what we can do. Can you please do that for next month?
Understood, Alderman Stevo. Yes, I have like the MWRD's draft flood relief plan. I'd be happy to present that to you all next month. It has detailed costs. It has sewer sizes. It has detention sites. Very detailed. It's very well costed out, and it's been studied over a number of years.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay. Alderman Carr, should I keep going down the list?
Sure, go ahead. You got about 5 minutes.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to take over the meeting here. Okay. I guess two last things, which was the underground maintenance program for 2020 was put on hold. That's our annual sewer maintenance and inspection, where we aim to clean and maintain and inspect 5% of the city sewers per year for safety and operation to prevent, flooding and sewer backups. That was put on hold last year due to the funding crisis. Can we start discussing getting that back on track? Maybe we don't have time for it at this one, but.
I did notice that the Fifth Ward was not on that map. That was the Fifth Ward done?
The Fifth Ward was done in 2017, Alderman Rita. Yes.
With this plan.
So we go on a 20 20-year cycle. This is for like detailed inspection and cleaning of the sewers. If there's problems, we fix, like Public Works fixes them. But as far as detailed inspection and thorough cleaning of the sewers, that they're on a 20-year cycle, but 5% per year.
Again, I stand by what I said with our COVID, with our expenses, that I think we need to hold off with this project for right now until we see where we're at.
Yeah, I agree. We have to figure out where our money is coming from.
Okay, and then the very last on my list, 119th Place Resurfacing, that was approved by, we got CDBG funding for 100% of the construction costs. That was approved by Finance to move forward yesterday. So, you know, and that's resurfacing at 119th Place between Irving and the end at the 119th Street Metro Station. And then very last on my list, I don't know if you even want me to go into this, Alderman Carr, but the call for projects for federal transportation money is on right now and will end in March. And I was hoping to get the committee's thoughts on possible projects to apply for.
This is Alderman Stevo. Whatever happened to Green Plum? As far as the Fifth Ward goes with the rain gardens.
That was the one, Mr. Stevo, I just said. They were granted a contract last year, and then with the COVID shutdown and everything, somehow their contract got lost in the shuffle. And by the time everything was straightened out, it was already in the end of July, which is way too late. Everything was already severely overgrown.
The mayor's
But that-
office
that
lost the
was-
contract.
Yeah, but that was Green Plum.
Alderman Carr, if it works okay, I could take 2 minutes and just give everybody an overview of the type of funding that's available now, and maybe next month, if anybody had a project, we could talk about it.
Sure.
Okay, so there's 3 calls for projects: Surface Transportation Fund, which does things like roadway reconstructions and resurfacings. That's for federal aid routes, so the busier streets in town. I don't think we really have anything on that at the moment. We have a Cmac call for projects, and that's projects where improving air quality, like traffic signal interconnects, if there were specific like transit improvements we wanted to do. The last one is TAP L, which is the Transportation Alternatives Program. So that's for bike paths. I know we have a bike path along Allworm Drive that's been always searching for funding for. That's a potential project. But included in our report is the applicable project types. There's a table and probably 12 different project types. And there's more information in there. So if somebody wanted to bring a possible project to to the table, this is the time, because we have about 2.5 months to get the funding application in for federal transportation dollars.
This is Alderman Rita. I have a quick question. So for the project that was approved last night you said there was the project was approved at the Finance Committee. Which project was that again?
Alderman Rita, that was the 119th Place CDBG resurfacing project between Irving Avenue and the end of 119th Place at the Metro Station.
How did it get to finance if it was a municipal services?
No, this project has been approved by Municipal Services and
Okay.
has a city council resolution.
Okay.
This is just the, sorry, I should have said, this is approval for the, CDBG approved us the project. So we just needed to make sure that finance was still happy with the numbers as they were originally submitted.
Plus the county's paying 100% on that.
The county's paying 100% of the construction costs, with the city still liable for design costs and then material testing and construction inspection during construction.
That's for the 119th Street, right? Resurfacing.
It's 119th Place. 119th Place.
119th Street Place, 119th Place, right?
Place.
Correct. Mhm.
Let's talk about these possible projects. Let's talk about them next month, because we're now out of time.
Alderman, I have a question for Jim Posel, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
Jim, were you able to get any do not litter signs?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Were you able to get do not litter signs?
I don't have any do not litter signs.
Hundred 126 in Western, right by Olive Street, northbound, there's a
I don't
bump.
think we have any of those.
All right, thank you. On Western Avenue at 126, right at Olive Street, there's a bump northbound. Can we contact IDOT and see if they'll repair that bump?
It's on what street? 127th?
126th and Western, right at Olive Street. Receiving a lot of complaints on that. It's
Oh,
been a
yeah.
bump. It's been there for a long time.
Yeah.
Do we have an assistant
So I
supervisor?
think that Mark Miller would, you want to probably reach out to Mark Miller, because he's got the contact to IDOT for like a special project and stuff for that.
All right. Do we have,
Okay.
do we have an assistant supervisor in Public Works now?
I have an assistant. Yes.
Is your assistant supervisor in Public Works?
Yeah, she's acting as an assistant supervisor. That's why I use her as, yeah.
And did that come through our committee? Municipal Service
Mr.
Committee?
Stevo, we haven't hired anyone.
It doesn't have to go through the committee, Mr. Stevo. That's like an interdepartment decision.
Well, we never had one before. I'm just questioning it. I was asked to question it.
I don't really know how to answer that. When I first started, I had Melissa Fuller, and then there was Christina Reyes, and now there's Julie. So that's going back almost 7 years now.
And they're secretaries or they're assistant?
They're my assistant.
They're your assistant, but they're not assistant superintendents.
Okay.
I guess we only have 3 minutes. So, Mr. Stevo, I need to know what exactly your point is.
No, I was asked if, I'd like to know if they're an assistant or if they're just an assistant. Are they assistant superintendents? Are they a secretary?
They assist with getting the job done.
Jim, I mean, do they act like you? They drive around too and they supervise things? How does that work?
No, they don't drive around like me. No, I don't believe so.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, I need a motion to adjourn so we can get to the next meeting, please.
Alderman Rita, I'll make a motion.
Okay, I need a second.
Mike, Matt.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 1, 2, 3. I'll say aye, that's 4. Okay, we'll see you all in about 2 minutes.
All right, thank you.